Imagine Hollywood without Bruce Willis. It's almost impossible, because for decades his presence was more than iconic. It became foundational. He wasn't simply an action star running through explosions or trading quips. He redefined what strength looked like on screen. From the late 1980s onward, Bruce brought something unexpected to blockbuster cinema: vulnerability. He was tough, yes, but also weary, sarcastic, flawed, and unmistakably human. Audiences didn't just watch him defeat villains, they watched him endure, showing that courage isn't always loud or perfect, it's persistent. That unique blend of grit and quiet depth reshaped what a cinematic hero could be, making him relatable rather than untouchable, and giving fans someone they could both admire and recognize themselves in. Quiet shifts. Before the spotlight. Noticed. Long before any public announcements or headlines, subtle changes began to appear in Bruce's daily life. On film sets, the rhythm shifted. Scenes were sometimes shortened, dialogue broken up, or takes paced differently, not as a commentary on his talent, but as a gentle acknowledgement that something had changed. Colleagues adapted without fanfare, guided by instinctive care rather than explanation. There were no whispers of judgment, no gossip, just an unspoken respect. Even at home, there were small moments that hinted at deeper shifts. Words sometimes took a little longer to arrive, familiar stories were repeated, and brief pauses punctuated conversations. These moments were not alarming, just noticeable to those closest to him, inviting patience and presence instead of panic. A family. Learning to listen. Within the privacy of their home, Bruce's family responded with attentiveness and tenderness. Emma Hemming Willis, his wife, noticed the pauses and hesitations, not with fear but with care. Conversations slowed, laughter found its place alongside patience, and silence became a companion rather than something to be filled. The children adapted naturally, and the household grew into a space of understanding. Humor persisted in small, treasured flickers, reminding everyone of Bruce's enduring spirit. Rather than trying to fix or analyze every change, his family embraced presence over explanation, allowing love and familiarity to guide their interactions. Prioritizing compassion. Friends and colleagues also observed the subtle shifts, but Bruce remained himself in the moments that mattered. Warm, quick-witted, and grounded. The family chose to protect his dignity, resisting curiosity and speculation. They quietly sought answers, but they did so privately, preserving Bruce's autonomy. This period of discretion was not avoidance, it was devotion. It was a conscious effort to let understanding grow without the pressure of public scrutiny or the burden of misunderstanding. They learned that love sometimes means slowing down, listening harder, and making room for presence instead of performance. A diagnosis brings clarity. Eventually, medical guidance provided answers that explained the changes everyone had observed. Bruce was living with frontotemporal dementia, a condition that affects language, decision-making, and emotional expression. The news brought both heartbreak and relief. Suddenly, years of subtle shifts made sense. For his family, the diagnosis was not an ending but a turning point. It allowed them to see the past through a new lens, reframing experiences and shaping the way they approach the future. Understanding gave structure to uncertainty, creating a framework of care and compassion around the changes rather than leaving them as unexplained frustrations. Looking back, with understanding. Once the diagnosis was clear, past experiences began to align in a way that felt both comforting and emotional. Moments that had seemed confusing now carried meaning, and gestures that once frustrated could be seen as expressions of persistence and effort. Emma Hemming Willis later reflected that clarity brought not just answers but peace, showing that change is a natural part of life, and that love can adapt alongside it. There was no blame, no sense of failure, only recognition that life sometimes unfolds differently than expected, and that patience and empathy are essential tools in navigating it. Building a new rhythm. With understanding came intention. The family reshaped daily life to emphasize stability, predictability, and calm. Routines were adjusted to create a supportive environment. Schedules were softened, surroundings simplified, and interactions slowed down. Presence replaced urgency, And everyday moments, meals together, quiet conversations, laughter, and shared music became anchors. Life was measured not by achievement but by connection, a shift that reinforced the notion that being together and cherishing each moment mattered far more than maintaining old patterns or expectations. Redefining connection. Bruce's family adapted by embracing a new way of communicating. Conversations were allowed to drift naturally, pauses became acceptable, and silence was no longer uncomfortable. Acceptance replaced anticipation, and loving attention took precedence over trying to fix or correct. Every interaction became an act of care, every decision a reflection of love, and the family's bond deepened as they navigated the unknown together. The future remained uncertain, but they faced it united, learning that presence, empathy, and patience are more powerful than any control over circumstance. Speaking as one. When the family eventually chose to share Bruce's diagnosis publicly, they did so in unity. Emma Hemming Willis, Demi Moore, and Bruce's daughters released a joint statement that was clear, measured, and rooted in compassion. Their words were neither sensational nor self-serving. They were designed to inform and foster understanding. This approach reflected the months of private reflection and care that preceded it, demonstrating that sharing such deeply personal experiences could be done with dignity. By speaking together, they sent a powerful message. Challenges are faced best when love and solidarity guide the way. Transparency as respect. The family's decision to speak publicly was deliberate. They recognized the importance of truth and clarity while maintaining Bruce's privacy. Sharing the diagnosis allowed them to replace speculation with understanding, offering insight without undermining dignity. Transparency, in this case, became a tool of compassion, a way to honor Bruce's life, his legacy, and the people who care for him. It was a reminder that openness can empower, inform, and connect, especially when handled with thoughtfulness and integrity. Authenticity as true strength. As appreciation for his legacy deepened, it became clear that Bruce's greatest power was his authenticity. The pauses, quiet moments, and understated gestures carried meaning both on-screen and in life. His presence reminded people that real courage is not about perfection, but about continuing, adapting, and being present when life changes unexpectedly. Authenticity, as Bruce demonstrated, is both compelling and enduring, shaping a legacy that goes far beyond fame or accolades. Advocacy through love. By sharing their story, Bruce's family created awareness for frontotemporal dementia and offered guidance for others facing similar experiences. Emma's voice became a bridge for families navigating cognitive challenges, showing that honesty, patience, and compassion can transform fear into understanding. Their openness resonated globally, offering comfort, validation, and practical insight to those who might otherwise feel isolated. Advocacy became an act of love, rooted in experience and delivered with care. Home as sanctuary. Inside their home, Bruce's family redefined strength as presence, patience, and adaptability. Each day was structured around calm, safety, and meaningful connection. They embraced small victories, cherished laughter, and prioritized shared moments over achievement or perfection. This approach allowed Bruce to feel secure, valued, and connected, while teaching everyone that resilience is not measured in accolades but in care, compassion, and shared love. Legacy. Beyond the spotlight. Bruce Willis's story is more than a career or a diagnosis. It is a testament to the human capacity to endure, adapt, and love despite uncertainty. His legacy is defined not just by iconic roles or cinematic triumphs, but by the grace with which he and his family faced change together. Their approach reminds us that real strength is rooted in compassion, presence, and the courage to meet life as it comes. Applause and box office numbers fade, but love, dignity, and connection endure, shaping a narrative that is both timeless and deeply human. A life defined by love and presence. In the end, Bruce Willis's story is a portrait of care, empathy, and shared resilience. His family's unwavering dedication demonstrates that legacy is built not only in the spotlight, but in quiet moments of understanding and support. The true measure of a life lived well is not merely in fame or fortune, but in the love that sustains, the courage to adapt, and the grace to face each change with dignity. Bruce's life, both on-screen and off, reminds us that enduring presence and compassionate care can create a legacy more lasting than any action sequence or award.